and welcome to Minecraft 101. In this Minecraft Survival Let's Play, we'll be going over all of the basics for Minecraft as well as just different ways to enjoy the game. In this episode, we are going to be getting started with some basic resource collection as well as learning how to survive the first night. So as far as resources go in your first day in a world in Minecraft, you're going to first want to punch trees. So here I am punching trees. You want to punch trees to get wood because that's going to be your first basic crafting material. Now, a lot of people will just leave a tree like this. That annoys the crap out of me. I hate having UFO trees floating around in the world, so I always pillar up and punch out the entire tree. So that way all of the leaves will despawn. If I hang around long enough, as the leaves despawn, I will get some sticks and I will get some apples. Because this is an oak tree, I will also get some saplings. Apples are they're a decent food source, but they're relatively rare, so we don't want to rely on them too much. So here I have a crafting bench. I got some sticks from the tree. If you don't get sticks from the tree, you can always craft planks and then turn them into sticks. I'm going to use this to give myself a wooden axe. I'm also going to go ahead and give myself a wooden pickaxe. So the wooden axe is going to allow me to mine through wooden objects like trees, like the crafting bench, much quicker. It's also going to act as a weapon that I can use to start gathering some food. You'll notice here I started out in a plains biome. I actually did not pick this seed to try to get anything special. I just did a random seed. But we are in a plains biome, which tends to have a lot of livestock spawn in. So it's a great place when you start out early game to find food. However, if you don't start out in a place where you find food, I would run around, pick a straight line and run in that direction until you eventually find either a river or an ocean. It shouldn't take you too long to find one of those. And swimming around in the river, of course, now that I say it shouldn't take too long, it takes me a minute to find. Swimming around in the river, you will find some fish. Fish make a really, really good early game food source. So this is a dry river, unfortunately. So I can't really demonstrate, but here we have a river. And hopefully I will find some fish swimming around in here. If not, like I said, I did start out in a plains biome, so I'm good. Here we go, some salmon. So I mine the salmon, or not mine, I attack the salmon with my axe, they drop fish, I'm good to go. You'll notice that I do have to be careful not to drown. If you look down in the bottom right near my, down in this area, there are bubble icons. When those run out, you will start taking suffocation damage and eventually drown. You do need to breathe, and you need to be above water for a period of time to allow yourself a chance to breathe. So I'm just going to kill the rest of these salmon because I do personally think that fish are one of the simplest ways to get a lot of food early on. Now later on we're going to get better food sources, but fish are pretty good. I'm also pretty lucky here that I found some sheep, because one of the things that I always try to get pretty early on is a bed. To get a bed, you're going to need 3 wool. I have 2. They need to all be of the same color. So if I were to find, let's say, a black sheep like that one up there, its wool would not work for me. And why am I getting lag? There we go. So now that I have 3 wool, I can give myself a bed. A bed is really, really important early game because it allows you to sleep when the sun goes down, which means you can prevent mobs from attacking you. So that takes care of my little checklist of early game starter resources. I need wood, I need food, and I need wool. The wool is optional. A lot of times when I can't find wool, I just go ahead and start I'll dig myself into a cave and secure myself in a cave to get through the night, and I'll start my mining session. The big things are wood, because you're always going to need sticks. You're always going to need wood, and also some sort of food source. Now you'll notice I don't really have all of that much food. I'm not too worried about it because I am near that plains biome. I can just run out there and hopefully some more animals will spawn. So that's the end of my axe. Let me craft up a new one. There we go. I really like this crafting book feature that they added. But that does bring me to another topic, Minecraft versions. So while we're going to be going over a whole bunch of different tips and tricks for Minecraft, the version I am playing is Minecraft 1. Excuse me, Minecraft 1.15.2 vanilla on the Java edition. If you're playing a different version, for instance, if you're playing on the PS4 or you're playing on mobile, it is going to be slightly different, especially when it gets to redstone circuits. But for the most part, a lot of the mechanics should be very similar. So while I'm not going to go into the details on how they're different, because I just simply don't have the familiarity with the other versions of Minecraft, just keep that in mind, that if I do something and you aren't able to make it work in your world because you're on PlayStation, it's just that happens. I'm sure there are other videos out there where people can give you tips and tricks for your specific version. I'm expecting there to be like a 95% overlap between versions, but anyways. So I'm going to go ahead and cut here and spend some time collecting more food and collecting more resources before the sun goes down. And I'm going to give you some tips on surviving the first night. So I'll get back to you in a little bit. And welcome back. As you can see, the sun has set, and we now need to survive the night. The day-night cycle in Minecraft lasts only about 5 minutes of day and 5 minutes of night, if I remember correctly, so we don't have to wait that long. And a lot of times, if I'm not able to make a bed early on, I will just dig a hole and wait out the night. Typically, I will not just I won't just hang out in the hole during that 5 minutes. I will actually start my mining session. I'll start a strip mine, which we'll get into next episode. But as far as just getting started, it's always a good idea to stay near your spawn point. So the world spawn point is where you will spawn in if you were to die without first setting your spawn in a bed. So it's a good idea, in my opinion, to stick around near there and find a little hillside that you can burrow your way in and just start clearing out some space. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, but my big piece of advice is to make a door and then make a pressure plate. So the door here is going to prevent enemies, prevent mobs from coming in. And the pressure plate here will mean that as I come in, let's say I'm getting chased by one of those skeletons over there, I can open the door, run in, and as soon as I get off that pressure plate, the door closes behind me. So it's my way of making sure that I stay nice and safe. I'm going to need a furnace, which I'm going to plop right here, so that I can cook up some of my food, because as you can see in the bottom right, I'm pretty hungry. I did manage to find some coal while I was running around. Just mined it with my pickaxe. And it's a pretty good starter setup. So this is always my basic beginning area. I'll probably stick around in here for the next couple episodes until I figure out where I'm going to set up base more permanently. But I'm just going to clear out some space. Not going to make it too pretty, although I personally do think it's important to take the time to make all of your builds look decent. So for instance, I will take out all of this dirt and probably replace it with some smooth stone. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and cut right here again. I know it's Not that this clip has been very long, but we're going to cut right again, and I'm going to clear out some space, make this place look decent, and we'll get back when I've got something that I actually want to show off. And we are back. As you can see, I've kind of stripped some of the trees off the top. I'm planted down some saplings, hoping to get them to grow up soon. I've also given myself this cute little dock here. There's no real purpose behind it, I just thought it looked nice. Using some half slabs, some trapdoors, and some stairs. Now ideally, if I had access to spruce, I would make these pieces down here underwater spruce. I would maybe make some of these pieces on here spruce to look like they're wet. Then I gave myself a little path up into my little mini cave here. Now I've gone ahead and ripped out all of the dirt and replaced it with some smelted stone, as well as some andesite, just to give us some little bit of variation. The ceiling here, I've braced it with some logs just for purely aesthetics, and I have put in the ceiling some stairs and half slabs to give it a little bit more depth. I also gave myself a nice little flower pot, made a little alcove for my bed, got a little bit of storage going on over here, not too much, but I don't really need too much right now. And I gave myself a cute little floor design. Nothing too spectacular. I found a deposit of andesite nearby and thought that I would use it to touch up the place. And then right here I have the beginnings of what will be my strip mine. So in the next episode we will be going over mining and some things to keep in mind when you are looking for ores. But I think that's going to do it for this very first episode. If you have any questions or comments or suggestions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Always make sure you light up your base, just because you really don't want mobs spawning inside of here. Worst thing to happen is to come into your house thinking you're nice and safe and finding a creeper and it blows you up. Anyways, I'm rambling, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it here. Thank you guys for watching. Please be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next episode.